If you're thinking about buying an Apple TV 4K right now, pause. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the one rumor that could save you money, the upgrade that might finally fix the biggest complaint, and the surprise feature Apple is quietly lining up that your current box probably can't do. By the end, you'll know whether to buy today or wait, and you'll have a short checklist to make the choice easy. Let's set the stage. The Apple TV 4K most people have is the 2022 model with the A15 chip. It's already fast, buttery smooth, supports Dolby Vision, HDR10+, Dolby Atmos, and it came with the USB-C Siri Remote. With tvOS updates, Apple added things like enhanced dialogue to make voices clearer, smarter subtitles that pop up when you mute or jump back, a 21.9 option for projectors, an insight in the Apple TV app that lets you see actor and song info during shows. So yeah, this is not a bad box. But 2025 is shaping up to bring a smarter, faster, and possibly cheaper Apple TV, and that's where the rumors get interesting. Timing first, because this is what decides whether you should wait. Apple loves two windows for this product, a quiet spring drop or a fall release alongside other hardware. If spring slips, fall becomes the safe bet. Why this matters? If you can hold off a little, you might get more speed, better wireless, a better remote, and maybe a lower price, or you'll catch the current model on a big discount. Now, the upgrade most likely to happen, the chip. Expect a move to A16, and if Apple wants a headline-grabbing leap, A17 isn't off the table. What does that do for you? Faster navigation, less stutter in heavy apps, more headroom for Apple Arcade games, and better on-device machine learning. Think cleaner upscaling from non-4K content and smarter audio separation for dialogue. Even if you never game, more headroom means your box stays snappy for years, and the lifespan of tvOS updates stretches further. Wireless is next. Wi-Fi 6E is the favorite rumor, and if the launch lands late in the year, Wi-Fi 7 becomes a possibility. Translation: less congestion, lower latency, and more consistent 4K streaming in crowded homes, especially if you're already on a 6E or 7 mesh. If you've ever had random buffering or lag when everyone's online, this is the quiet upgrade you actually feel every single night. Expect Apple to keep pushing Thread and Matter, too, because the Apple TV doubles as a smart home hub. Faster radios make your lights and locks respond quicker and more reliably. Let's talk about the remote, because you know this is the pain point. The most asked for fix is simple: find my support. The rumor mill has circled this for a while, and it makes sense. AirTag-style location in the remote so you stop tearing the couch apart. A backlight for the buttons is another crowd favorite that could finally happen. None of this is flashy on a spec sheet, but it changes daily life. Picture this. It's movie night, lights are off, someone hit the wrong button, and you can instantly ping the remote or feel your way with a subtle backlight. That's the kind of tiny upgrade that keeps people in Apple's ecosystem. Storage could tick up as well. Right now, 64 and 128 gig options exist. A higher base, say 128, would encourage more Apple Arcade downloads and heavy apps without micromanaging space. If Apple wants to lean into local ML features and richer screensavers or ambient experiences, extra storage pairs nicely with that strategy. Price is where things get spicy. Apple has explored pushing the Apple TV closer to that sub-$100 sweet spot. Even if the sticker doesn't drop dramatically, watch for consistent promotions, especially around back-to-school, Black Friday, and holiday sales at places like Amazon, Best Buy, and Target. The practical effect? Either you get the new model for less than you think, or the current model hits a price so low it's an instant buy. What about form factor? Every year, rumors pop up about a cheaper stick version to compete with Roku and Fire TV. Is it possible? Sure. Is it likely? Not as much. Apple tends to prioritize performance, long updates, and privacy over rock-bottom cost. A small box with real horsepower, plus that home hub role, fits Apple's playbook better than a bare-bones dongle. Now for the wild cards. A built-in camera for FaceTime without using your iPhone would be a headline feature. It's been whispered about, but it's still a long shot. It adds cost and complexity, and Apple already solved video calls with continuity camera. If we see it, expect it on a higher-end model, not the entry option. Gaming deserves a quick look. With a stronger chip and Apple loosening rules around game streaming on other platforms, there's a real chance we see better stories around Apple Arcade and possibly cloud gaming apps making their way to the big screen, depending on how Apple handles tvOS policy this year. If that door opens, the A16 or A17 suddenly looks a lot more interesting for living room gaming. Software is where Apple can surprise you without changing the box. Look for tvOS to keep pushing smart features that don't require you to think. Smarter voice isolation so dialogue is crystal clear even at low volume. Better What's That Song? Moments built right into the player. Deeper insight that shows you actors and trivia across more apps, not just Apple TV+. More thoughtful screensavers and ambient modes that turn your TV into a living photo frame with your iCloud memories, world-class aerials, or even glanceable home data. And for projector fans, watch for Apple to continue refining widescreen support and color tuning so your setup looks right without digging through menus. All right, buy now or wait. Here's the real-world answer. If you find the current Apple TV 4K around the $99 mark or less, it's still a top-tier streaming box with years of updates ahead. It's fast, it's stable, and if you want the Apple ecosystem, the TV app, Apple Arcade, Fitness Plus, HomeKit Hub, it's already excellent. But you should wait if any of this sounds like you. You constantly misplace the remote and want Find My. Your home is loaded with gadgets and you want Wi-Fi 6E for cleaner, more reliable streaming. You're into gaming and want the extra GPU headroom for smoother Apple Arcade titles or the possibility of cloud gaming apps landing on tvOS. You plan to keep this box for 4 to 5 years and want the newest chip so it stays fast the whole time. Or you're simply price sensitive and don't mind waiting a bit to see if Apple shifts the MSRP or retailers run aggressive promos on both the new and old models. Keep an eye on Apple's calendar. Spring drops tend to be quiet, sometimes just a press release. WWDC in June is software first, but tvOS previews often hint at hardware capabilities coming later. And of course, fall is Apple's classic hardware season. If you can wait until one of those checkpoints, you'll make a smarter decision with zero FOMO. Before we wrap, here's that quick checklist to make the choice effortless. If you can snag the 2022 Apple TV 4K near $99 and you don't care about Find My and the remote or Wi-Fi 6E, buy it and enjoy. It's fantastic. If you've got a 6E or Wi-Fi 7 router, you lose the remote at least once a week, or you want the newest chip for longevity and gaming, hold off for the 2025 model. If you're on the fence, wait for the next Apple event window. Either you'll get new features, or you'll get a better price on the current one. One last thought. Apple's strategy with Apple TV is slow, steady, and premium. They don't chase spec sheets. They chase experiences, clearer dialogue without touching a setting, your phone turning into a camera for video calls without a setup, your smart home just working in the background. So when the new box lands, expect fewer gimmicks and more of those, "Oh, that's better," moments that you feel every day. If this helped you plan your next Apple TV upgrade, tap subscribe so you don't miss the official announcement and the real-world review when it drops. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.